Hi guys, just wanted to show you this sky. You can see the water is still up. This is on the way to the dam. I wanted to go check the dam. I haven't seen it for a few days, but I haven't seen the sky look like this for a long time. It just looks really beautiful. Lots of water still, so it's the middle of October, so the water's still not gone down yet, but it's on the way. I think in the weather forecast says no rain for a week. So nature will change that, I'm sure, but it's not scheduled. But the sky today, I went to get food, and the sky looks completely different. But you're looking through the window, so there's a tint. So like a UV filter. So really pretty. Okay. You can show, yeah. You see? Yeah. This is looking through the windscreen. Look at the clouds, amazing, huh? The sky's like blue. We went to Ayutthaya this morning to get some, to go food shopping. And I broke my record for how much I spent. But I'm happy. Freezer's full again. If you look way over into the distance, right on the horizon, you can see the mountains. They're about 40 kilometers away. And then if you turn to the left slightly, there's another set of mountains over there. But look at the sky. It's completely different. And the water. The water looks like a small ocean. It's that much water. But in a couple of weeks, it'll be back to farming rice again. That's just a one crazy big rice field. But it floods every year, so that's why nobody lives out there. So they've got some wind here now. It's a little bit windy. But obviously some strong wind before, because normally this stuff grows in the rivers. But it's blown from somewhere, and it's all on the road. And the road looks like the same depth as it was last time I was here. So, but you can see it's been blown onto the road. This lady here is cleaning it all off the road. You see it all over here where the wind's blowing it all over? This wasn't here last time I was here. Well, she's cleaning it all. So just there, it's up to her, past her ankles. But there's still people way out there swimming. Oh, are they swimming? No, they're not swimming. They're just walking in the water, some young guys. Okay, that's the update, guys. The water hasn't not gone down yet. So all the boats are parked up, fishing for something. How many boats here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, huh? You can hear one way off in the distance now. A lot of little birds over there. I guess swallows. Right across, all the way over the other side there is a temple. That's my friends who lived more or less next door to me. That's their temple. So I've been there for a few funerals. Well. We have an update. So all that water I'm showing you is starting to drain. Which means my river's low enough for this water to go into it. Because the last time I came down here, which was about 10 days ago, the water was right up the bank and it was completely still because my river was too high. But I'm not sure if they shut the gate or not. But the water's definitely moving, so it's going somewhere. I'm curious to know, was this shut or not? Look at this big guy here. I think you lost your way, my friend. You're not gonna live long up here on concrete. Huh? You're not gonna live long on concrete. You need to go back into woods. What's up? Last time I was here, this was just one big body of water. And now, it's all been blown from way over there to here. Full of that green stuff, but also look at the grass. That grass growing in there too. So this should be water, all water. But look at the height difference here. You can see the water on that side. If you look just in there somewhere, you can just see the reflection of water. So it's slightly higher than this side. So now if you look at the concrete, it's about a foot lower than 10 days ago when I was here. Okay, let's, as a reference, see that piece of concrete sticking out, that little jetty there? That's originally here. And the tip is still underwater. All this was underwater, but it's still all the way over there. But you can see where they tried to fix the dam before. It's much more out of the water now. You can see this one here too, the jetty sticking out over here now. So another foot, then that'll dry off. That's where they were bending the metal. So no changes at the dam. The water here looks higher than it was last time. I don't remember it being up under that tree and over there on the far left behind all those barrels. I don't remember that. But actually, maybe it was, because I think there was water here. If you look at the ground, you can see, well, it had to be, because all that was under, that whole wall was underwater. So I'm just guessing that when this chute is back from underwater, it might even be broke, because it looks like it's gone in the middle. From what I can see here, like right there somewhere, it looks like it's gone. So I guess I'll have to wait until it goes down to fix that. But when that other side gets low enough, it's a catch-22, because that chute I just showed you, that's opening all that water flow, and you think that's like 20 foot, 6 meters wide, and they're like a couple meters deep, emptying the other side out. So it's going to take a while for that other end to go down. I think maybe another week at least before they can get this under control, at least. And over here, rebarb. Putting the primer on the rebarb. See, it's turned white, not steel. They're cutting it and bending it at the back over there. Oh! Toasty out there. Woo. So the skies are clear, the sun's out, and the water's flowing. So let's see. But none of the pumps are running yet here. I guess if they pump these from one side to the other, it's not going to go nowhere. If you pump it from this side out, it's still going to flow in from the other end. So they don't have a line yet where they can say, okay, we're safe. But you can see they're building they're cutting and shaping all the rebarb. So they're not sitting still. So as soon as that water goes down, they can get busy. What do you think, John? Crazy, isn't it? All this water. John's been sitting in the truck napping. Lazy! I've been shopping. I'm tired. Okay, guys. I'm home. Out wandering around. We left here about 10 something, and now it's about coming up to 4 o'clock. So we've been out and about, but I got styrofoam boxes, like styrofoam coolers, we get them for free from Macro. Go to the fish section and ask for them. They rinse them off and give them to you for free. So fill up, put all our meat in it, and then we can go wander. Normally before we used to go to the mall and have lunch and all that sort of stuff. But now neither one of us want to eat lunch anymore. So I just need to get out of town. That's all. I'll get away from people. But what I said, come on, let's go for a drive on the way back. The sky was beautiful, and I decided I don't want to go home yet. So we went into the village, and then all the way around to the dam. And on the road, I stopped off a few times, as you can see, and it's beautiful. So the main dam where they're working is down about a foot, so they got a long way to go yet. But on the way back, I passed the dam down here by my house. It's about, I want to say about 3 kilometers, 2.5 kilometers away. I don't know exactly, I never measured it. About 2.5 kilometers away. And one of the 3 gates is wide open. So the main river and this is the same height now. So they kept it closed for a few days until it came down. So to protect the houses down here. Let me show you. So it's back up again. So let's see if I have my reference. See that brown leaf right in the middle? Well, if you follow the water edge along, there's a little stone there. Actually, underneath that brown leaf is a stone, right? And that little brick, whatever it is there. So from there to the water's edge was about 18 inches a couple days ago. But now that that water gate's open, it's back up, which is fine because it's still way away from bothering me. Another meter before it bothers me. I just turn around and look who's here. Ray gets closer and closer. My foot's here, look. I'm just here. And Ray's right there. He's like 1.5 meters from me. I know what you want, sir. You want hot dog, right? Well, guess what I got for you? I got some hot dog. Just break a piece off for you. How's that? Whoop, there he goes. One happy customer. Oh, there's Scary Ray over there, look. See him? You don't come close. You can I think this is a female, and she's a little bit slimmer too. Where is she? There she is. She's poking out, see? Watch this. Oop. There she goes. Same every time. Run to the woods. I think they have a nest in there. That ugly blue thing is a water butt for the concrete and sand and everything. I put it over there so it's not so much of an eyesore, but it's still an eyesore. If that gate's open and the water's flowing down and it's going that way, we'll say coming in from the north going to the south, when this river goes down, the farther it goes along, 5 or 6 kilometers, it starts to look like it gets smaller, and that's why it busts its bank so easy. Way down there, remember I showed you before how it comes over? So you can see the sluice gate open and the water flowing out quite fast. So that means it's going from high to low, right? Goes under the road, pops out the other side as white water. So that's down about 1.5 meters where that white water is. But that joins this river farther down, of course, and all of that's got to go somewhere. So that's continuing south towards Bangkok. And where I buy bags of ice, Jan gets it for me, but in the one shop there's a lady there and her husband has rice fields in the area that they flood the area so this water can get away. And then there's a gate on the other side of that, and somewhere way over the other side behind, so you got the river here, and then on the other side there's a road, and on the farther is that big open field. Way at the back of that there's I think it's, don't quote me, I'll get confused, the Liberty River, but it also comes into the back of the town. But whatever, there's water moving, and that's what fills up the other side over there from that river coming from the farther northeast. And then all that water goes to another river which is on the left. If you come from Bangkok, it's on the east side of the Asia Highway, and if you look over there you'll see many big crazy barges and tugboats and stuff. And Jan says that's the area where the lady passed. So the young guy, Jan heard some woman speaking this morning, the owner of the company who owned the boat, but you know, long speech. End of the day, young guy, no experience, with his wife on the boat, shouldn't happen, but did. I'm not blaming anybody, but you don't put a young guy who doesn't have the experience of fast moving water in a boat. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I don't want to leave you hanging. They found her body. So the boat turned over. For those who didn't listen to the whole video a couple days ago, the tugboat, it's a middle-sized tugboat, turned over, sunk the same night because they thought she was still on board. A big crane come and lifted the tugboat up to the water level. Then they pumped it out so it floated again. I went inside, couldn't find her. The next day they found her like 200 meters away next to a temple, and I heard bridge, but Jan said no bridge. It was a temple wall or something. The sad thing is she was like 27 years old and 7 months pregnant. That's the part that messes me up, and of course Jan's messed up about it too. So a young couple married, she's 27, passed with a 7-month-old baby. Terrible. Really messes with me. You think that young baby didn't even get a chance to take a breath. Sad. Anyway, enough of that. But where this empties out into this river by that factory is where the accident happened. So between here and so about 5 kilometers north of Ayutthaya, something like that, is where the accident happened. I thought it was the Ayutthaya River where I showed you before, but it's not. Jan corrected me. I don't remember all the names, Thai names. So I'm back in the workshop. I want to show you what I'm doing. So this is the second coat, and the covered a lot better. The trouble is that paint is messing up, but I think I figured out it needs to be more watery. Good job this isn't good, you know, a paying customer because it's a mess. But I think another coat will cover all the black. And it doesn't need to be perfect, but Mr. Perfect needs that to be perfect. So in here is where they're going to sit. This is laying on its back, of course, right? So it's going to stand up like a box with one side missing, which is going to go in the back of the Avery on the riverside to give them some protection from their wind, rain, birds of prey. But then I thought I want to use the white plastic conduit, which I said, this conduit here, see up there, conduit? I want to use that conduit because I have some spare, and I have some spare connectors. So I'll use them on another project at some point, but for now I have them, so use them. And I'm going to make like a frame. So this will be about 18 inches deep. So if this goes in the back, there'll be a piece of this pipe. So if this is in the back, there'll be a piece of this inside at the same width as that, right? And from here, that's Ray. Whenever there's two of them, they start singing like that. So put this in here, that'll be, so this part will stick out 18 inches. So from there to there to there. So 0, 9, 18 inches, whatever the width of that thing is, and it'll be on an angle. So this can be high, slightly lower, and this one, so these two will actually be inside the box. So they, from left to right, they're protected, nobody can see them. But if they wish, they can go out farther and sit on that, between here and there, however wide it is. And then it's another place for birds to sit. So right now, it'll be, I guess it'll be enough for like 25 birds to sit on or more. Easy. Not that I'm going to get 25 birds, but there's plenty of places to sit for them. Come back outside, it's too humid in there. I have a big extractor fan at the end, but it's noisy, so I'll just come outside. So I'll give another coat of paint in the morning. I did a coat of paint this morning before we went shopping. So I'll do another one on the inside, and then I can make that thing. I've got some, what do you call them? It's the same ones it's a clip that you screw into the wall, and then you click the pipe into the conduit. You click it in and it holds it on the wall. So I think 4 of those, 2 on each side, can hold the angle I want. And then they can sit inside, 2 rows inside, enough for like 20 birds plus, and 1 on the outside, all at different levels, but they can't poop on each other. So yesterday I was thinking, how can I do this? First I thought just use 2 T-pieces and screw it. But last night I was thinking, where is the bag of connectors? And then it came to me where it is. And as soon as I walked up to touch it, that image popped in my head. I was like, dude, I like that. So I'll make that tomorrow probably. And then once the paint's dry, inside and out, I can secure that onto it and drill some holes, countersink it, and take it into the Avery and screw it to the side. And then they'll have another place. And then all I've got left to do is paint the sides of where they paint the sides of the birdhouse that they have now, because it's looking funky from sitting out there so long. It must have been there like 7 or 8 years. So I think the plan's coming together. It's middle of October. You know, I want to say this. I guess I feel more comfortable each day sharing spiritual stuff with you. You know, there's a guy called Joe Dispenza. I don't know if you've heard of him. I think he's a PhD. Pretty sure a PhD. And he's like a neuroscientist, but he's also like a spiritual guy. So he looks at everything from that perspective, and how the body reacts. So I heard, I'm not sure if it's him or somebody I watched last night, and they said, if your energy, or your, not energy is like physical energy for working, but like a spiritual energy, high vibration, because the higher you go in spiritual, the higher you vibrate. So, you know, people who are high, you could say, look younger, act younger, friendlier, kinder, more gentle, all these different things, right? So relevant to age. So if you see somebody who's 65 and looks 90, you have a good idea what's going on. If you have somebody who's 65 and looks 35, then you can say, they're practice some form of spiritual. But I talked to a guy the other day, same thing. He's 75 years old, but looks younger. And I said to him, do you meditate? And he said, no. Actually, Jan asked for me. But he does chanting in the evenings before he goes to bed. And, he goes, and the chants are blessings for everybody else, normally, things like that. For themselves and for other people. That's normally Buddhist prayer is, you know, pray for the blessing for all sentient beings, which is anything that has a pulse, right? So, but here's the point. If somebody with a high energy goes into a mall and then comes out afterwards and they're tired, why? Well, I always said I always get tired, but I always thought maybe it's just too many people, or I said to Jan many times, maybe it's Wi-Fi or something. But come to find out that what happens is when you have a high vibration, your nervous system has that same vibration. But apparently when people come close to each other, you exchange energy with each other, even though you don't understand it. And they've done all these experiments, right? So what happens is, if you're around low vibrational people and you're a high vibrational person, they drain you of physical energy because I guess your nervous system is like an antenna. But they drain you because I guess in nature they're trying to balance. So I'm not trying to brag or anything, but every time I go to a big mall, I come out. And what happens? Exhausted. I come home and usually, like if it's a lot of people, I have to nap for an hour. Don't say I'm just want to nap. But it's something to think about. You know, when they say protect yourself, it doesn't necessarily mean put your fists up to protect yourself. There's a lot of stuff going on that we don't see. You know, here's one more thing and I'll close. I heard this many years ago. Our eyes see reflected light, but we have a range. So let me just show you something. So there you can see green, pink, white, and red, or bright pink, light pink, and white, green, right? You see all them colors? So your eye can see all that, but if you took the light spectrum that our eyes can see and put it on the Empire State Building, right, which is a big building in New York City, for those who don't know, from the top to the bottom is the light spectrum from the top to the bottom is the light spectrum. That's X-rays, gamma rays, anything to do with light, okay? But how much of that Empire State Building can we actually see? Have a guess. Comment first and then I'll tell you. Waiting? Okay, 2 inches. So from the top, I don't know how many floors the Empire State Building is, but from the top to the bottom, the part that we can see, so if you put the whole light spectrum on there, the only we can see is 2 inches. So that's like what is 2 inches? 50 centimeters, right? 52 centimeters, or 52 millimeters, right? That's all we can see. So there's things going on around us that we can't participate in. So that's the light spectrum. Then you have the audible system. So there's animals singing, sounds. You know, you've probably all seen this already, where they put the sensors on plants and the plant makes a sound. But you can't hear it with your ear, but they can take that energy and put it through a machine and produce this sound. So they're saying that plants knows when their owners are coming within 2 kilometers of their house. So if you have house plants, they know you, they understand who you are. 2 kilometers away. How? They measure it. Last one. How about this one? Dr. Emoto, a Japanese scientist, learned about emotions. Whew, I just got a chill. So he was a water scientist, taking care of pollution and stuff like that in Japan. So he had some water on his desk that he knew was polluted. He knew it. But on his desk, he also had a picture of his grandson. So he looked at the picture of his grandson, who he loved, and he felt love, the emotion of love, when he looked at his grandson. When they tested that water, the water was clean. There was nothing wrong with it. So he said, hang up, something's going on here. Sorry for the noise. I'm not going to stop because somebody else will be doing it. So they did it again. And in the end, he learned he would take people out and they would have a big meetup around a polluted or something wrong with the lake. And they would hold hands and hold the feeling of gratitude and love, right? And when they held that feeling of gratitude and love, that physically changed the structure of the water. So how did they do it? You can to put in Dr. Emoto, or you can put in like water crystals, Japan or something, and you'll see pictures of before and after. You know, it's the same as when you put rice in a jar and you put a label on it, say, I hate you, right? And on the other one it says, I love you. So they have the children in the classroom to say, I love you to one and hate you to the other. And the one where they say hate you rots a lot earlier, and the one they say I love to doesn't rot. So what he did is he take water, freeze it, and it would turn into like a snowflake. Beautiful, symmetrical, and so on and so on. So the whole point is, there's so much going on around us that we have no explanation about. And I just use the word creator of the universe. I believe somebody had to design this. Whatever your belief is, something had to design all this for your. They monitor your plants. I just seen last night a dog. It was a long-haired Labrador. What is it? Yeah, long-haired Labrador, I guess. Yeah. So there was a woman sitting in her chair reading a book under like what looked like a carport, a wooden structure, and the dog was laying there and got up and started barking and at the woman. She jumped up and ran, and the structure fell on the floor. The night before, I seen another one, same type of dog, like a golden retriever, I guess you would call him. And this one was a little bit darker, but the room was dark. The dog was walking around in the baby's room, and all of a sudden he just walked over, picked up this pillow. It's about the size of like a small cushion, dropped it in the crib or cot with the child, put his feet on the pillow and pushed the baby into the mattress. 10 seconds later, there was an earthquake. So dogs can clearly sense things that we cannot. But all of this stuff is going on around us. Fascinating. Grateful. Okay, guys, I'm sorry for boring you. If I bored you, say boring. If I bored you, say thanks. If I didn't bore you and you really enjoyed it, say more, please. I'll keep it limited. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but thinking about physics and energy and thought and spiritual, I think I come out a different mold. Okay, guys, it's a blessing for me to be able to chat to you and see your comments. I love it when you comment anything. I'm interacting with somebody. When I post it and I see the views, I think somebody's watching it, but I don't know who. So there's no interaction. So, subscribe and leave a comment. Buckets of blessings. Thank you, really, thank you, grateful. Rivers of peace, joy, and kindness. See you tomorrow.